Welcome to episode 5 of My Life as a Broadcast Tower Climber, a series recounting my work on broadcast towers starting from the beginning, featuring the contents of my camera roll in chronological order. This episode covers the end of August 2019 as we worked in eastern North Carolina outside of Greenville. In this episode, you'll see a lot of footage from working in and above the clouds, working above a rainbow, and you can watch in time lapse as the storm approaches and then catches us before it could get off the tower. And you can see us as we make progress on the structural work reinforcing the uppermost portions of the tower. We first had to replace 4 levels or bays of diagonal rods up top before moving on to our leg reinforcement. There's some clips in episode 3 where you can see it better, but we first braced the tower with slings, tightened the turnbuckle, and then we removed the old diagonal rods before replacing it with new diagonal rods of a thicker diameter. This beefs the tower up and enables it to hold a heavier antenna that it'll receive as part of the repack. Since the elevator ride is like 17 minutes each way, a lot of days working up here we would just take our lunch up with us, take a break, eat our lunch, hang out for a minute, and then get back to it. Here's another storm in the distance approaching us. This time we were able to get down before the storm got to us. Most of the storms out here were just rain and didn't have lightning, but we do always keep an eye out for lightning due to the higher probability of the tower being struck if lightning is in the vicinity. The best way I know and what I've been using for years to track lightning is the Spark feature in WeatherBug, which will tell you the distance from your phone to the nearest lightning strikes, and you can configure push alerts to have it let you know when lightning approaches at certain intervals. When it wasn't raining, we had a whole bunch of days where the clouds were low, and I got to capture some pretty cool footage of that, which you will see coming up here. These are cumulus clouds, usually formed at altitudes between 1,000 and 5,000 feet. Their height is a function of temperature. Some videos later where it is a time lapse like this one, and you can see as the day progresses and the temperature warms up, the cloud level rises higher and higher. These are generally formed by air rising as a result of surface heating and, as we have seen, can occasionally produce light showers.
People's homes, like mini midgets, in
Stealth midgets.
Stealth midgets, yeah. Actually, I had a really good suggestion.
The audio in that previous clip is from Mysterious Universe, one of my favorite podcasts I still listen to this day. Shout out Mysterious Universe. So here we are in the elevator, headed up through a cloud bank, and this video and then the next one is pretty cool. It's just completely clouded out as far as the eye could see. This man basket contains materials for our leg reinforcement, and typically leg reinforcements are done with half pipe welded onto the tower leg, but to mitigate the fire risk of doing all this at like 1,700 to 1,850 feet in the air, they came up with another system that was bolted together. You'll see more of that in a minute. Coming up in this man basket is my good buddy Josh Miner.
How's the ride?
He was my first friend that I made when I started working towers back in 2013, working at Blue Stream. We worked together there for a while, kept in touch over the years. And shortly before I came on to work with this broadcast company, he was trying to get me to come and work where he was at. But I told him, no, man, what we're doing over here is way cooler. So he ended up coming to work with us, and this was the start of some really good times. Now we're up in the man basket, riding up in the tower. This is dramatically faster than taking the elevator would be, and since we had a man basket slung off on the tower with our materials and a secondary one that we could use for riding, we would use this instead because it's just a good bit faster and a lot more comfortable than riding in the elevator. So here we go through the clouds.
Beautiful day, huh, Gab?
Fuck yeah.
Hi! You ready to get wet?
No.
I got bad news for you then.
With Miner on the crew, we now had 5 guys up the tower, and in an emergency situation, you can get 4 guys into and on top of an elevator and bail out, but when you got 5 guys, there's no way that's happening. So 2 of the guys got in the elevator, and they started making their way down, and the rest of us got in the man basket. And that's why you see us just kind of sitting here for so long. We are stationary in the man basket. There was an issue with the elevator, and our foreman had to go and manually override the elevator controls to get it to come down because we couldn't just leave it up the tower. So yeah, there we are, just hanging out, dangling. I'm getting this time lapse. The storm's getting closer and closer. And then I guess the elevator made it down to the ground. It starts bringing us down. And I just keep recording. And at this point, we were starting to get wet. It had been hot outside in August, but this rain was cold. And yeah, I remember this being not that fun of an experience, but it's a cool video to look back on. We got our leg reinforcement here. You can see it on the left side of the screen. On the outside of the tower is a long piece, like the full length of the tower section. And then on the inside, the pieces on the back are just the length of a bay that go in there and it bolts together. I was able to capture these time lapses because we were working in the same area of the tower for so long. I could just tape my phone to a tower leg and point it out have it go on a time lapse, and we'd be working in the same area of the tower all morning or all afternoon, something like that. So I could just leave it, have it recording for a while, come back to it later, and get a cool video. A lot of the work that we're doing now has us going like up and down and all around the tower more. So I haven't been able to record as many videos like this recently, but I'm glad that I got these. One day, Bo brought a parachute man and we let him go. I want you to imagine in your head how long it takes it to fall from up here at about 1,800 feet. And then, just keep that number in mind as it continues to go.
Yeah, it's still on camera now.
I don't see it anymore. Oh, I see it.
It's over by the church. Looks like it's making it into the forest across the road.
Boy, that's a 1,900-foot nothing church drop right there. Imagine that fucking line that guy up. As long as you don't hit no fucking cars, that would be fucking weird. They're like, what the fuck did this come from?
It's been a minute and it's still falling.
Yeah, dude, somebody on the other side of the road. Did he make it?
I lost it when it crossed the road.
Oh, it landed in the ditch on the other side of the road.
It's still going.
Is it?
Yeah.
Ready. Thanks, bro.
With a fresh maker in hand, we set about tightening some of these nuts that some of the other guys had allegedly previously tightened down. We had a hunch we could get a little bit more out of them.
Bet you won't get that any tighter.
Bet you we will.
It's a pretty cool phenomenon called God's Eye, and I guess the light is refracting off the tower or something, and then we can see the prism on the clouds. I don't know, I'm no meteorologist, but it's always a cool thing to see. It has to be sunny and not cloudy in between the sun and the tower, but cloudy beneath the tower, so kind of rare. Got a video of the clouds passing through, and again you can see the leg reinforcement there on the left side, how all those little flanges coming off the half pipe line up and can bolt together. So that's what we had going on up there. These videos looking up as we're coming down in the man basket help to illustrate how our rigging works. So we have two cables coming out of our hoist. They both go to the base of the tower and then up to the tower to some blocks there. And then our load line comes down to a headache ball that our man basket is attached to. And the tag line comes down the tower, and then we put it to like a tree out in the field or something. And we put a block around our headache ball up there at the top, and then put that onto the tag cable. You can see it there. So when we loosen the tag cable, the man basket comes in closer to the tower. And when we tighten that tag cable, the man basket moves out and further away from the tower. So I hope this video kind of illustrates how that works. This isn't rain, this is just a cloud passing through the tower, and all the droplets are condensing on the tower and running down our rigging line, so we have to get our stuff out the basket.
We're in the clouds, dog. We're in the clouds, man. You know what I'm saying? There's like, it's just his head above the clouds. You know what I mean? So just his head and like just a bank of clouds behind us. Like, that's pretty fucking cool.
So we would bring the long leg pieces up most of the way on the winch as such, and then transfer it around onto a rope to take it the rest of the way up the tower. So that's what you're seeing here. Picking it up. Those are the outside pieces, and it's like a whole section's worth right there, and would bolt in on the leg pads. I think that ought to be tight. Look at my airplane. Made it out of cardboard.
Is that the cardboard I brought to make the TV wall of it?
Probably so. You ready to see it go?
Not really.
Or do you want to keep it?